Next on the Gospel Bill Show.
Well, you boys about to get her loaded up?
Yeah, we just about got her done.
Good. When you get back out the ranch, I got some more work for you to do.
You know, it's beyond me why any man would put his job on the line just to go to church.
Well, it's because God is the most important thing in my life.
I don't see how you can call yourself a real cowboy.
What do you mean by that?
Real cowboys don't need anybody. All this talk about you leaning on God. Why, I don't even think you're a real man.
It's the Gospel Bill Show, featuring Gospel Bill, his sidekick Nicodemus, Miss Lana, good old Elmer Barnes, and the entire Dry Gulch gang.
Man, didn't Parson try to preach a good sermon this morning?
I've never heard him preach a bad one.
That's because he knows how to hear from God.
Boy, you get to hearing preaching like that, it's just like fires in my bones or something. It makes me want to do something for God.
Yeah, we're blessed to have a church like that. You know, not every church is like that. When there's lots of places where folks go, it's just as dead as it can be, but every time you go hear Parson try to preach, you get edified.
Now, edified. Now, I've heard you use that word before, Gospel Bill. Now, what does that mean?
Well, it's what you are right now, all excited about serving God, charged up and refreshed in your spirit. That's what edified means.
Well, if that's what edified means, that sure is what I am.
Hey, listen, I'll see you guys later. I got some things to look after. Morning, Griffin. I've been looking all over for Nicodemus. Have you seen that boy anywhere?
Why, I think he took a day off, Mr. Farnsworth. Didn't he bother to tell you?
Well, no, sirree, he didn't bother to tell me. I got work that needs to be done. Wonder where that boy went.
I think he's down at that church again.
Down at that church again. That Nicodemus is going to have to make up his mind whether he's going to work for me or go to church the rest of his life. Oh, that rascal sure wish he was here.
Something I can do for you, Mr. Farnsworth?
Well, I've got a fence down out in the north pasture. Somebody needs to get out there and fix it right away. Cattle's getting out. Well, we can't wait till tomorrow. We got to get that done today.
Well, you can sure count on me, Mr. Farnsworth.
Well, I'll tell you what, as soon as that Nicodemus gets in, I'm going to have a little talk with him.
So I just asked Parson Trotter if I could sing next Sunday, and he said that I could.
Well, that's great, Nicodemus. You get to sing again.
Yeah, I thought it was about time I ministered music again. Howdy, Ned.
What is this?
Well, it's a pair of antlers.
No, I mean the store. I run out of something every Sunday, and I come down here, and the doors are locked, and I want to know why.
Now, Ned, this happens to
Miss Lana, let me explain this to Ned. You see, Ned, Miss Lana's store is open 6 days a week, even open late on Saturday. And it's closed on Sunday, that's her day off. But if you really need something, what you need to do is go to Dripping Springs to the Shopping Bob. It's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they take major credit cards.
That's not convenient. Now, why aren't you open on Sundays?
Now, Ned, Sunday's the day our church has its services, and I go to church to please God, and I'm not going to open this store.
I just know it. One day I'm going to need something, and I'm going to come down here, and the doors are going to be locked, and we're all going to die.
You know, that Ned's always been a different type feller, ain't he? Well, I got to be going, Miss Lana. We'll be seeing you.
Bye.
How come Griffin leaves such a mess in here? But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you.
Well, it's about time you got home.
Hello, Mr. Farnsworth.
Don't you hello me, boy. I want to have a talk with you.
Well, is something wrong?
I'll tell you for sure there is. Why, the cattle been getting out of the hole in the fence in the north pasture, and I've been needing you to get out there and fix it.
Well, now, Mr. Farnsworth, Sunday is my day off, you know.
Well, those cattle hadn't been taking a day off. They've been running through the hole in that fence faster than I know how to count.
Well, now, Mr. Farnsworth, when I hired on here, one of the things we did discuss was I was going to get Sundays off so I could go to church.
Well, all that's changing now, son. I'm going to have to tell you this. If you're going to be performing around here, you're going to have to work full time, and that means 7 days a week.
Well, you going back on your word?
Yes, sir. I'm going back and add one more day to our contract. From now on, you can work on Sundays. So you're going to have to just make up your mind whether or not you're going to work out here or go to church the rest of your life.
What a choice. If I go to church, I'll lose my job.
I want to introduce you to a special friend of mine. Her name is Geraldine, and she is an ostrich. Come here, Geraldine. Geraldine, I want to talk to you. Well, as you can see, ostriches are very large. In fact, they're the largest birds on Earth. A full-grown ostrich stands 8 feet tall. Wow, that's as tall as the average ceiling. Can you imagine a bird as tall as the ceiling in your living room? These ostriches weigh up to 300 pounds, so don't ever try to cook one. They're much too big for your oven. Ostriches can run up to 60 miles per hour. They have powerful legs, but their wings are very, very small. And of course, ostriches cannot fly. How would you like to have an ostrich nesting in a tree outside your house? That would be terrible. Imagine getting hit in the head with an ostrich egg. You'd be cuckoo. Now this is Fran. She's not an ostrich at all. What is she doing in this picture? She is an emu. That's the ostrich's Australian cousin. These ostriches live in Africa. There they live in great numbers and live often to be 70 years of age. That's a long time. Come here, Geraldine. There you go. Ow, Geraldine, don't try to bite me. Ow, don't do that. I want to pet you. I don't want you to bite me. Baby ostriches hatch out to be 1 foot tall, and they grow very quickly. In only 30 days, a baby ostrich can run up to 35 miles per hour. That's faster than the fastest man on Earth. Ostriches have few natural enemies, and they live a long time. In fact, we can learn a lesson from them. The Word of God says that if we honor our fathers and mother, we'll live a long time on the earth.
Well, good Monday morning, Nicodemus.
Good morning, Miss Lena.
What can I do for you?
I got an order for the ranch. I need you to fill for me.
Well, I sure will. Nicodemus, you don't look very happy. Is there something wrong?
Oh, I guess I'm thinking about something else. You know, Miss Lena, after we got out of church yesterday, I got back to the ranch. Farnsworth was just fuming. Seems some cattle got out while we was in church, and he's looking for me to round them up. And, of course, he told me when I hired on to take this job I could have off on Sundays. But he decided to do this, Miss Lena. He says, Nicodemus, you either going to quit going to church on Sunday and working 7 days a week, or you are fired.
Oh, no.
What am I supposed to do?
Well, that's a hard decision, Nicodemus, that you have a good job, you have good pay, and you have a good position, but on the other hand, God's first and you have to go to church. Well, if I was you, I think I'd go to jail and talk to the sheriff about this.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. What are you fellers doing in town today?
Just picking up a few supplies.
Well, since when do supplies get picked up that I don't know anything about?
Well, I saw that we were short on a few things, and Mr. Farnsworth thought it'd be a good idea if I took care of it.
Oh, he did he?
Yeah, it seems as though he can't count on you much longer. So, what's it gonna be? Are you gonna stick around, or are you gonna get fired?
Well, when I make my decision, I'll tell Mr. Farnsworth. And if he wants you to know, maybe he'll tell you.
Well, I hope he gets fired.
Why's that?
I've been after that foreman's job myself.
The old Bible thumper anyhow.
you're looking at a fella that's in betwixt a rock and a hard place. And it's all because I go to church.
Now, you wait just a minute, Mr. Nicodemus. No one's ever gotten hurt by going to church yet. Now, you sit down here and tell me what you're talking about.
Well, Farnsworth comes up to me, says, I either gotta quit going to church on Sunday or I'm fired.
I thought you guys had an agreement when you went to work for him that you were going to be going to church on Sundays.
We did have an agreement, but he done up and changed his mind on me.
Now, listen, it can't be all that bad. Now, what you got to do is go back and talk to old Farnsworth. You know how moody he is. Why, yesterday morning, he probably needed something really bad, and when he couldn't find you, he got upset because you were at church, and he took it out on you. Just go back to him. He ought to be calmed down by now, and just have a talk with him. He'll change his mind.
Yeah, but what if that don't work?
Well, if that doesn't work out, then you've got another matter altogether.
Well, what am I supposed to do?
Well, I can't answer that, Nicodemus, but I will say this. If you'll put God first, you won't be sorry, because God always blesses people, even though it costs them other things like jobs and things like that. You put Him first, you won't be sorry.
Well, don't you think I can probably be a strong Christian anyway, even if I don't go to church?
No, I don't think you can at all. But stop and think a minute, Nicodemus. We go to church to get our spiritual food, and that keeps us strong. Besides all that, if you quit going to church just for your job, you won't be putting God first in your life, and you need to do that. Now, go on back out there and have another talk with Farnsworth. This whole deal's probably just blown out of proportion anyway. He'll probably change his mind.
Yeah, he probably was just in a bad mood, and you know how Farnsworth is anyway. Why, I bet I can talk him back into it. Thanks, Gospel Bill.
Go get the last one.
Well, you boys about to get her loaded up?
Yeah, we just about got her done.
Good. When you get back out of the ranch, I got some more work for you to do.
You know, it's beyond me why any man would put his job on the line just to go to church.
Well, it's because God is the most important thing in my life.
I don't see how you can call yourself a real cowboy.
What do you mean by that?
Real cowboys don't need anybody. All this talk about you leaning on God. Why, I don't even think you're a real man.
Son, you got a whole lot to learn about life. I'll see you at the ranch. You know, I bet he's just like Gospel Bill said. He was just in a bad mood. Why, you know how you are when you start to get old and your mind starts to go a little bit. After all, he is an old codger. I know what I'll do. I'll just say, now, Mr. Farnsworth, I'm sure sorry you was in a bad mood yesterday about them cattle. But a deal is a deal. And when I first come here, we made a deal that I could have off on Sunday. And all right, Mr. Farnsworth, what's it going to be? You going to still let me off on Sunday?
The answer is no. Boy, if you're going to work for me, you're going to have to work for me 7 days a week, and that includes Sunday morning. So today you better make up your mind.
Well, Mr. Farnsworth, this has been the best job I ever had, and I really appreciate it and all, but if you ain't going to let me off on Sunday, well, I'm just going to have to quit, because I got to put God first.
Well, you do that, boy, because it'll be real easy for me to find someone else to take your job. Well, that's what your answer is. I'll go to work on that right now.
Oh.
Hey, Nicodemus,
What, Griffin?
I just wanted to thank you
What for?
for making me the new foreman.
Oh. Well, I did it. You're looking at the former foreman of the Flying Frog Ranch. Boy, I'm gonna miss that job. That's the best job I ever had. Who's gonna wanna hire me now? Nobody wants a foreman that can't work 7 days a week. There's a lot of things I'm gonna miss now. Number one is eating and having a roof over my head and having Miss Trudy Lou out for dates and paying all my bills. I sure hope Tutwater ain't heard about this yet.
Now, Nicodemus, you've totally forgotten everything I said to you. I said that if you put God first, He will look after you. And that's the only reason you quit the job, was because you wanted to go to church. That's putting God first. He's going to look out for you. You're going to get an even better job than what you had.
But where am I supposed to look for another job?
Well, you just do everything you know to do. If I were you, I'd start with a newspaper.
Yeah, newspaper. That's it. They got want ads. I'll find something in there. God's gonna take care of me. Miss Lana, I kind of sort of don't work at the Flying Frog Ranch no more.
Oh.
Well, I kind of resigned today. I was just wondering if I could use your table here and look through the paper and find me a new job.
Sure, Nicodemus. Make yourself at home.
Thank you. Well, there's all kind of want ads here. Let's see. Here's a good one. Wanted, exciting individual. That's me. To hold position of executive ranch distribution manager. Ooh, that sounds important. Unlimited pay, full medical benefits, great retirement plan, and 4 weeks paid vacation to Acapulco. Only requirement, must work Sundays. Oh, well, there'll be some more. Let's see. Gotta work Sundays on that one. Sundays. Nearly all these you gotta work Sundays. Wait, here's one. Wanted, ranch hand to work Monday through Saturday. Sounds like me.
Good.
Lousy pay, no benefits, no vacation, dead-end job. Please apply in person at Huge Helga's Humongous Hog Ranch.
Ooh.
Sounds like a lovely woman.
Well, hello, Nicodemus. How's things at Helga's?
Miss Lana, them hogs are huge. And the smell is horrendously heavy.
Oh, you don't have to tell me that, Nicodemus.
Well, I'm sorry, I know I smell bad. And the pay, it's just like the paper said. It is lousy. Man, this is the hardest job I ever had in my life. I can't wait until tomorrow. My day off, I can get some rest.
Oh, Nicodemus, don't you forget you have to sing at the service in the morning.
Oh, I did forget. Oh, well, I gotta go home and get cleaned up and get my vocal cords warmed up.
Beautiful, Nicodemus.
Well, he did it again today. That Parson Trotter keeps preaching better and better. But now, what did you think about that special singing we had?
Well, that's the best I've ever heard you sing, Nicodemus.
Oh, shucks.
Nicodemus, you did a great job.
Say, how would you fellas like to come and have Sunday dinner with me?
Now, Miss Lynn, I'd sure like to, but I got a prisoner to look after, and I'm just afraid I'm going to have to say no.
How about you, Nicodemus? Got roast beef?
Well, I don't know. You got any mashed taters and gravy?
Oh, I sure do.
Corn on the cob?
Got that, too.
Sourdough biscuits?
Made from scratch.
Well, I don't know.
Tell you what, it's going to be ready in 10 minutes. If you want some, come on in.
I'll be there. Oh, Gospel Bill, I wanted to thank you for that good advice you gave me, man. If it wasn't for you, I'd have probably been out working on Sunday and skipping out on church and messing my spirit all up.
Now, listen here. You wouldn't have done that because I know you better. And I'll tell you this, too. I know the job you've got now isn't as good as the one you had, but because you put God first, He's going to reward you, Nicodemus. Listen, when you get done with this dinner, you come on over to the jail and I'll top it off with a pot of my coffee.
Well, Gospel Bill, I don't get to eat real good food like this very often. What do you want to go and ruin it for?
I don't want to ruin your dinner. I just ask you over for a cup of my coffee.
Well, I'd rather keep it on my stomach if you don't mind. Boy, roast beef, mashed taters and gravy, corn on the cob. Maybe she got some cherry pie. Ooh.
Well, no wonder I couldn't find you, son. You in here sleeping. Hey, get up from there.
Morning, Mr. Farnsworth.
Now, don't you morning me. Boy, it's pretty near noon. That fence you supposed to fix last Sunday? Why, you did the worst job any boy I ever saw fix fence. Every one of them strands come loose, the cattle's out in the road again. I'll tell you what, you better get out there right now and get that fence fixed right away.
Yes, sir, Mr. Farnsworth.
And you're not the foreman anymore. Worst thing I ever did, letting that Nicodemus go. Why, he could get more done in 6 days than that kid can in 10. Oh, I got to ride into town and tell him to come on back. And I guess I'm going to have to let him go to church. After all, he does get a lot of work done. Best help I ever had.
Oh, Miss Lana, if I eat one more bite, I am gonna bust. Oh, that roast beef was delicious. And them mashed taters and gravy, and that lemon meringue pie.
Oh, thank you, Nicodemus, but you were just mighty hungry.
Oh, man.
Excuse me for interrupting, folks. Miss Lynn, I know you was closed today, but I saw that Nicodemus is in here, and I just had to come and have a word with him.
Yeah.
Nicodemus, things just ain't the same out the ranch without you. I got to have you back out there, boy.
Well, Mr. Farnsworth, I can't go back to work out there. See, I got to go to church on Sundays.
Well, I'm ready to change my mind on that, son, because, I found out that you can get more work in 6 days and taking Sundays off than all the rest of them fellers can do out there in 7. Would you reconsider?
Well, I have to think about it a little bit, Mr. Farnsworth.
Well, I tell you what, if it'll help you make up your mind, I'll throw in a new saddle and one of them new horses I brought down from Colorado.
One of them new horses from Colorado?
Yeah, now what you think about that?
Mr. Farnsworth, you got yourself a deal.
Welcome back, Nick.
Ain't it grand? Ain't it grand to be a Christian? Ain't it grand? On Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and all day Sunday, it's grand to be a Christian. Ain't it grand? Ain't it grand to be a Christian? Ain't it grand? It's grand to be a Christian. Ain't it grand? On Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and all day Sunday, it's grand to be a Christian. Ain't it grand? Ain't it grand to live for Jesus? Ain't it grand? Oh, it's grand to live September, October, November, then December. Well, it's grand to be a Christian, ain't it grand? It's so grand to be a Christian, ain't it grand? Oh, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and all day Sunday. It's grand to be a Christian, ain't it grand to be a Christian? It's so grand to be a Christian. It's so grand.
Hey, it is grand to be a Christian. You know what? There are a lot of people who don't know for sure if they're Christians or not. I want to tell you that just because you're born in America, just because your family goes to church or used to belong to a church, that doesn't make you a Christian. There's only one way you can know you're a Christian, and that is by letting Jesus Christ come into your heart to be your Lord. And if you've never invited Him to come into your heart, He's not there, because Jesus doesn't come automatically. He doesn't come just because you went to a church one time. He only comes into your heart when you invite Him. He wants to come in your heart. He really does. He wants to live there more than you even want Him to come in. He's been waiting on you, and all you've got to do is believe that He was raised from the dead, like the Bible says in Romans chapter 10 and verse 9. And the second thing you have to do is to confess with your mouth that Jesus is your Lord. That means that you pray and ask Him to be the boss of your life. And if you pray that way and really mean it, Jesus will hear your prayer. He'll come into your heart, and you can know for sure that you're going to go to heaven. You'll know for sure that you are a Christian. If you haven't stopped to pray that, I ask you to right now. I promise you Jesus will hear your prayer, and you'll be glad, and you can say it's grand to be a Christian.
So,